Builder here. Well, we're carrying on with our desk project here. It's just one of these projects that you just kind of put off to the side and you do a little here, a little there, and eventually it gets done. So anyways, put a bunch of sub-assemblies together here, and now we're actually starting to get some pieces. Now we've managed to complete these pieces here. The pieces on the left, those are the corner pieces that hold the desk up in the corner. And the pieces on the right, those are the two center stands that go in the middle of the two desks. They back up to one another just like that. And the platform on the bottom is where your computer sits. We're also getting some of the larger sub-assemblies done. This big unit right here is the printer stand. And basically, well, you can see the supports here. They divide the compartment up so you can store paper or whatever down there. And then this top here is going to lay on top here and be glued into place. And I've got a hole in the center here. If you look at that, I've got a divider here, and then there's another hole out the end of the unit here. That's your printer cords can run down and through the whole unit up to the computers. We've got other bigger pieces done here. I've got the bases are with the feet are all glued together now and stapled. Then on top of the bases here, I've got the cabinets and the shelves. They're all being put together in different sub-assemblies, and once I get everything all lined up, that's all going to go together. And we're still working on putting little pieces on right here, like that. That's where the desk top attaches and to one of the sides. And I'll take you outside here and I'll show you the desktop here right away. So anyways, this is what the desktops are going to look like here. I've got the cutout area for the keyboard to sit in, and this goes around to the side unit, where you can have a little bookshelf or whatever, and this here goes off up against the end of the other desk. So, but I'm basically doing little swales here. I've just finished cutting this out here. I've got to sand this yet, and I've got to work on getting the corners all get rid of these saw marks and stuff. And then once I get this all nice and smooth, I'm going to double the thickness of this unit, and I'm going to go at it with a router, so that will give a double thickness to the front edge of the desk. And this is what the desktop looks like before I cut it out, obviously. Now this cut right here, I actually did that on the table saw. That's a little tricky to do, but the reason I did it on the table saw is just so I get a guaranteed straight edging here. Basically what I did to get that one cut, and now this is not the safest thing in the world to do. There's a little bit of a danger and kickback in doing something like this. You really have to take it careful. What you do is you just set up your fence and figure out where you need to drop it, and then just let it down onto your blade. And let it cut through, go the length that you need, and then just stop your saw. Like I say, it takes a little bit of practice. It's not a recommended move, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So anyways, I just finished taping off all of my cut lines here and remarking them on top, so that I know where to follow through with the jigsaw. Now, when you're cutting something like this fancy wood here, and you don't want to get splinters and stuff, it's a good idea to always tape your cuts, especially with something like a jigsaw. Now the jigsaw, it pulls up on the cut, so where you want to tape it is on the upper side. You don't really have to worry too much about the bottom splintering too badly, for a couple of reasons. One, I'm going to be doubling up the thickness anyway, so I'll be gluing another piece onto it. Anything that's splintering is going to get covered up anyways on the underside, so I'm not too concerned about that. But the other thing is, when you've got a veneered surface and you've got a blade that's pulling up, because it's pulling up and you've got no support on top, that's where you have your greatest risk of splintering. So if you put the tape on, that'll help to alleviate that problem. So I'm just going to take the jigsaw now and I'm going to start cutting. Now you're going to want to go slow with something like this, okay? Because the slower you go, the more teeth per minute that you get across your cut, and again, that's less chance of splintering. So just take your time and go easy with it. Now the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to cut through to this point here, and I'm going to come back from the other side. I'm going to cut through, but I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch just hanging there, and I'm going to work on the other end. And the reason for that is that way I don't have to support this whole big piece while I work on this cut and have it drop out on me. And when I finally do get through on the other end here, then all I have to do is just come back and zip, and that's done. Okay, so now I've got everything cut through except for a couple of 1/4 inch spots, little tabs. I just come back through here and like that. And come down to this end. Voila, that's all there's to it. So anyways, with that done and out of the way, now I can get out the sander and the sanding drum on the drill there, and go over all these edges and smooth everything off. And we got a couple of desk blanks here that well, we still got a little bit of work to do yet. We got to double up our edges, but other than that, we're pretty much ready to go. So anyways, that's about it for this little episode here. I guess we'll carry on sanding here. We'll see you guys next time we actually have this thing a bit more put together, and maybe doing some staining. Talk to you later. Happy day.